It's a brand new one, hot off the presses here from Universal Studios. It's Lisa Frankenstein. Kathryn Newton, Cole Sprouse from Riverdale, directed by the daughter of Robin Williams, and written by Diablo Cody. So yeah, kind of know what you're getting there. Very Tim Burton vibes in this one. I went into it not expecting a whole lot out of it. Universal, they can be hit and miss. Pretty well by the books release here. There's your extras, some scenes from the movie. Open it up. There is your plain Jane disc. Um, it looks really good. Like, I will say this much: I enjoyed this one way more than I probably had any right to enjoy it, because it's not for me. I'm not the demographic. I don't think. Although the movie does take place in 1989, so it kind of pulls on them retro heartstrings just a little bit. But Lisa here, she lives with her dad, her evil stepmom. Well, she's not evil; she's kind of a bitch. So I guess you can say evil stepmom. Her stepsister, who was super nice to her, and she's new in school and she's a nerd, and just she's in love with basically the mausoleum where this guy is buried. And things happen, and he comes back to life, and they sort of bond in a very weird way. She ends up, being on the other end of some tragedies, which helps him and helps her, but also puts it to when you automatically realize that things are probably going to go downhill for this couple right here pretty fast. So yeah, it's funny. They're Cole Sprouse does better than I thought he would do, to be completely honest with you, because I wasn't really a big Jughead guy in Riverdale. Um, I wasn't really into Riverdale after the first season, if I'm honest with you. Kathryn Newton, who you've seen in Freaky Friday, or is it just Freaky, or what is that movie? Is it the one where she switches with the killer, her and Vince Vaughn? I can't remember what that's even called. Freaky, something like that. Either way, you know what I'm talking about. She's in that movie, and she does a great job. Um, Kind of like an all-star cast in some ways. You see, there's the dad from Stranger Things is in this. I've seen her in a million things. Can't remember what it is. I haven't seen her in anything, but she does a really good job for her role. But there's some pretty funny violence in this movie at times. There is violence in the movie. It does kind of turn into a kind of a horror comedy, which you would expect from a movie called Lisa Frankenstein. Maybe a little more, you know, I don't want to say like really graphic, gory, but there's at least one scene that's pretty funny, and it does get kind of graphic for what it implies, but it doesn't show a whole lot. Um, Nonetheless, it's a fun movie. It has some horror twists to it. It has some very memorable quotes in there from time to time, believe it or not, which of course you can kind of expect that from Diablo Cody stuff. I mean, I'm a big fan of Juno. The rest of the stuff I'm hit and miss on. But yeah, I would watch this again, and I would recommend you watch it, even if you are at my age. Even though it seems like it's kind of a teenage movie in a whole lot of regard, but it's funny. It's got some nostalgic stuff. If you are an old guy like me, it looks really cool, and the plot is kind of like one you have. It's not one that you haven't seen, but it's at least done in an entertaining fashion, and one that makes you not feel like you wasted your time when you do watch this one. And Universal, for every night swim, they seem to come back with something like this. So I can forgive them for that. Plus, you can always love them for the classics. They did give us the Universal monsters amongst other things, but Lisa Frankenstein probably destined to be a cult classic. Um, in 10 years, maybe Scream Factory will be putting out a special edition of this, or who knows? Maybe they'll do it in 2 or 3. Who can tell these days? But it's fun, more fun than it had the right to be, and I do recommend it. 3 out of 5.